Welcome to the Link Aggregate Group Troubleshooting Lab, where we'll collect and analyze lag outputs and resolve issues related to them. In this situation, we've been asked to look at a lag in the environment that does not seem to have all its ports active. We will try to identify the cause and correct the issue to allow all of the lag's ports within this environment to be active. First, let's look at the lab topology, as you can see here, and we're going to be concentrating on the one from Ruckus 3 to Ruckus 1. And that one is the one that seems to be having the problem. So let's look at the lag by logging into Ruckus 1 first and seeing where the lag is. So here in Ruckus 1, we're going to do a show lag. 1, 2, 3 is the name of it. And we can see both ports are up and forwarding. However, this is a static lag, as we can see. It is correctly deployed. So we want to make sure that those physical ports are actually forwarding in a correct manner. For us to do that, we're going to have to go over to the switch 3 and take a look and make sure we're seeing them in the other direction as active and forwarding. So let's go over to switch 3 here. We're going to do a show lag here as well. We can see the 3-to-1 lag here is actually showing one of its ports down. Now again, because it's static, we can recognize that one side was going to have those two ports up. If those ports are up and functioning, it's going to actually identify it. So we're going to look here now is to make sure that port 4 on its physical aspect is up and running. So we're going to do a show port or show interface brief. And we can see that port 4 is down, and so therefore for whatever reason at the other link it is not active and not functioning. We do not see it in the disabled state though, at least, so therefore we're not going to be saying that it's because it's disabled. So we need to identify if something's not right here in the sense of the links going between these two, because the switch 1 shows that both of the ports are up and forwarding. However, the two ports on Ruckus 3 here are not showing that. So we need to look at them and take a look more specifically to see if maybe we have a port mismatch going on here. And the way we're able to do that is what you've seen before, is we're going to do a show LLDP neighbor. And what we can see through this is that we do have two ports connecting to Ruckus 1. However, the problem is this has been misconfigured to the point where you actually have ports 4 and 5 configured in the lag. However, 5 and 6 are the physical ports going between this switch and switch 1. So we're going to need to be able to reconfigure that lag to fix it. One thing we can do is have them to physically change those, but what I think we're going to do at this point is correct it and switch this one to 5 and 6 instead of 4 and 5 as the ports. So let's go in and do that. So in this particular switch, we're going to do a config T. First, we're going to disable port 4. And then disable port 6. I didn't disable port 4, so let's go back to it. Okay, we've got those two disabled. Now let's go into the lag itself. And we're going to disassociate port 4. Actually, we're going to do a no deploy first. We'll do this in the proper way. So we've deployed that, or undeployed it. And now we're going to take out port 4. And then we're going to add port 6. We see that port 6 is actually in a dual mode manner, so that is causing port 6 not to function correctly or not be able to be added. So we're going to need to go into port 6 and remove that dual function. So we're going to go to interface E116, no dual mode. And that should allow us to go back to port 6 and add it, or back to the lag. We're going to add the interface again. We still see another issue, is that because it does not have the same VLAN membership. So at this point, we're going to need to go into that port 6 and also remove it from the VLAN membership. And it looks like it's, let's do a show VLAN. And we can see 6 is a member of VLAN 3. We can also see it's a member of 5. And we also see it's a member of 7. So we're going to need to remove that. So we're going to go into VLAN 7. And then we're going to do no tagged E116. And then once again, we can go back into that lag and hopefully add it. We can successfully add it now. So let's try to deploy this. Now it's saying we do not have a primary port. So more than likely, and we could even look at the previous configuration or show lag previously, but what happened is that port 4 was the primary port, and once we removed it out of this, there was no primary port associated with this lag. So all we need to do now is just simply add a primary port. And that'll be 115, it's just the lowest one. Now let's deploy it. And we show it deployed successfully. So let's do a show lag again now. It's in a disabled state because we haven't enabled the ports. So let's go to show, or let's go into interface E115. And we'll enable that because it is a primary port. When I enable 5, it will enable all ports that are associated with that lag. Let's do a show lag again. And we do see it up and forwarding. So we have repaired this lag. We did not see it in an up-down, or we did see an up-down state on this side. We saw an up-up state on 1, but we can feel confident that it's that way. We can go back to 1 now as well and do a show lag also. And we can see it's in an up state as well. So we have successfully troubleshooted that problem. So we do see those lags functioning. However, we have another scenario that we want to look at, and that we've been instructed to configure a dynamic lag on Ruckus 3 between Ruckus 3 and 4. The configuration's already been completed on Ruckus 4, so we just need to configure 3 and confirm that it's up and operational. So we're going to go to Ruckus 3 now, back to it, and we are going to go in and configure a new dynamic lag here, going from 3 to 4. So we're going to go in the interfaces E112 are the ones that we have been assigned to use. Excuse me, 111 to 112. We're going to disable those first. And then also we've been told that we need to go in and use, it's going to be 4 ports total. And it's going to be interface E1121 to 22 as well. So we're going to disable those. And then we're going to start our lag. So we're going to go into lag. This is going to be 324. And it's going to be dynamic. I'll just put in an ID 5 here. And now we're going to add our ports. So it will be a total of 4 ports in this lag. We're going to select our primary port as 111, and we're going to deploy it. Now we'll need to go into interface E111 and enable it. We'll give it a moment to settle down and establish that lag. So let's now do a show lag. You can see our 3-to-1 there. And we can see now also that this lag that we've just configured is in actually 2 ports are up and 2 ports are in a blocking state. Now because this is a dynamic lag, we see that we have LACP working for us, and because of that, it's identified an anomaly. Now we do see that there's 4 links that are in it, 2 are functioning and 2 are not. One thing that we'll look further into this output is that we have down at the bottom, we see that we are partner ID systems. We have to have the same values there. However, we are seeing some partner keys here that are different. So the 2 that are in the 2002 indicate that they are actually up and functioning, but the ones that are in the 2003 seem to not be functioning. Now, in general, we need to have the same partner key coming from the other device because that indicates that we're having some kind of issue over there, and it might be a misconfigured type situation. So let's go over to the neighbor, which is going to be over to 4, and see what might be going on that side to cause not all of these ports to be up and functioning. So let's just go over to 4 and take a look. So we're going to log into Ruckus 4 here, and we're going to do a show lag. And what we see here is from 4 to 3, we see 2 being in this configuration for this particular lag, and we see another one down here at the bottom that is a second lag. And that's what our problem is we have 2 different lags going to the same devices. What we're going to need to do here is we're going to need to remove lag 4 to 3 and add it to the existing lag that we see before. So that is going to allow all of these ports to be active in the single lag. So the way we're going to do that is first we're going to go into config T, and we're going to disable all the concerned ports. So we're going to E111 because it's the primary port. We're going to do disable and then interface E1121. We're going to disable it. Let's do a show lag again. We see we have a statically deployed to 4.2. That's not what we're looking at. We're seeing a dynamic deploy to 4.3, and it's in a disabled state. Let's also see the one that's incorrectly configured. It is also in a disabled state as well. So now we can go in and do no lag 4.2.3, and that should not only undeploy that lag, but also remove it from the configuration. So we'll do a show lag again. And we can see it's no longer there. So the next thing we need to do is we need to add these existing ports, 21 and 22, to the existing lags. We're going to go into lag 4-2-3. And we're going to add those ports. Now, because the lag is down, it allows us to be able to add those without undeploying the lag. So because it is in a down state. Once those ports have been active, we can go back. Let's look and verify, show lag. We can now see all 4 ports are now active in the single lag, and we should be able to go into interface E111 again and enable it. We'll give it a moment for it to establish, and then we'll do a show lag again. We can now see all 4 ports are up in a forwarding state, in operational state, and so we've established that lag to be functioning again. Let's go back to 3 just to make sure that it shows it on its same side that it has an active working lag as well, and all ports are active. There is our lag on 3, and we see that all are in operational state, forwarding, and we're healthy again. So this completes the troubleshooting demo of the ICX lag. So thank you for taking the time to watch this, and hope it provided you some good information on how to troubleshoot lags within your environment.